Hey friends, in today's video we are creating this look. It's kind of one that I stumbled upon the other day when I was doing my makeup and it lasted all day. I love it. A lot of the products that I'm using today when paired together just have really great longevity benefits. So we're gonna get glam, we're gonna chat, we're gonna hang out. I also wanna mention that BK Beauty is celebrating our 6th birthday, 6 years, I cannot believe it. It has been truly the most fulfilling 6 years of my life. It has been incredible. It's been amazing building this business and this brand, doing it alongside my kids. When we started this business, you know, my kids were much younger, and then just being able to see us build this brand and this community has just been so rewarding. So to celebrate our birthday, we're having our anniversary sale. Our anniversary sale is one of our biggest sales that we have every year. It's site-wide, so everything on the website is going to be marked down 20 to 30, 35% off, depending on what you buy. Some of our bundles you get deeper discounts on. So if there's been anything that you've had your eye on, it'd be a great time to shop it. I will have all the details to our anniversary sale in the description box. I'm also going to tag everything in YouTube shopping. So as you are watching this video, the products will pop up that I'm using and you can shop them real easily while you're still in the video. So it's kind of a fun little feature and it makes shopping videos much easier. Okay, you guys, let me stop blabbing and let's get started. So let's go ahead and get started. I did apply my moisturizer just before I hit record. Today I used the Merit Beauty Great Skin Priming Moisturizer. This is a moisturizer, but also a primer in one. I did have makeup on today that I've removed to film this video, so not ideal. I really don't like putting my makeup on, removing it, putting my makeup on, removing it, but that's just part of my job. But truly, you know, my skin is best prepped when it's in the morning. I do my skincare and then I apply my makeup. So I'm telling you all of that because when I washed my face just now and removed everything, it felt really dry and tight. So I'm actually gonna kind of like double moisturize. So I've got this on first, but then I'm gonna go in, you guys, with the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. This is such a great product and I don't share this, talk about it, or use this enough. I have these all over. I have one at my studio. I have a couple at home. I used this the other day when I was filming a video for L'Oreal and my foundation just looked so good that day. And I think it was honestly a combination of this product, also the foundation, which we are going to be using in this video. But I remember clearly when Shelby did my makeup on my channel, I'll link that video down below, she used this and I hadn't used this in a while. And I just remember having a really good day that day with my foundation. I'm sure it was Shelby's application, but I also think there's something to this product that just makes your foundation look so good. It's kind of similar to the Merit. I would describe this as a moisturizer that also has priming benefits, where this I would describe more as a primer with moisturizing benefits. So they're very similar, but I think, like, for example, I wouldn't use this as my moisturizer alone. I would want to use something else with it, or I could just use this product. This one I think just primes the skin for longevity, to have your makeup last all day. So I hope I didn't confuse you guys with that, but I'm using both of them today. I also love the scent of this Vitamin Rich Face Base. It's like citrusy. It smells so good. And I apply it all over underneath the eyes, and I really work it into the skin because it is a thicker consistency, but the skin just feels so good and so smooth. I feel like it just really gives a very smooth canvas for your makeup. So we're gonna kind of let that sit in for a second, not too long. I'm excited about the foundation that I'm going to share with you in today's video because one, it's drugstore, it's affordable. I always love when I find really phenomenal products that are also affordable. And that's how I would describe this foundation. This is the new L'Oreal Skin Ink Foundation. And this is a hybrid of a foundation and a concealer in one product. It's very unique. It's very, very different than most foundations on the market. It comes in this like doe foot wand applicator. Now, a couple things you need to know. You need to shake it before you use it. So this is to shake it for like 10 seconds. We're just gonna shake it up, really just mix it all up in there. They also say you should work in sections on the face, not instead of applying it all over and then going out and blending, really just apply it in one area, blend it, go on to the next area, apply it. It dries pretty quickly, so that's the reasoning behind that. And it's described as being a foundation and a concealer. And you guys, I am usually really skeptical about products that claim to do that because I find that, like, in order to be a concealer, in my book, you have to look natural under the eye. You also have to stay in place and you have to give great coverage. And sometimes I find that like these 2-in-1 foundations just don't do that. This does, you guys. It really does. So I'm going to do the cheek first. I'm not going to do under the eye yet. I'm going to do the under eyes last. I'm using the BK Beauty 115 brush. By the way, you guys, BK Beauty's anniversary sale is in full effect. We are celebrating 6 years. Our birthday is here. 6 years. We launched August 1st of 2019. I'm actually going to upload this video a couple days before the first, but I'm going to upload this video the day that our sale goes live. It's one of our biggest sales of the year in the sense that it's site-wide. Everything is like 20 to 30, 35% off, depending on if you get bundles. So it's a really great time to shop. I will link it here, and I will of course tag all these products in YouTube shopping, so as you're watching this video you'll see the products pop up and you can shop them that way. So this is the BK Beauty 115, and if you notice, I'm just pressing this foundation into the skin. This foundation is so lightweight. Like, it is one of the thinnest formulas of foundation that I can think of. I mean, it's really truly lightweight. The coverage is really great. I would say it's a good medium buildable coverage. I mean, look at that. Isn't that pretty? This is without anything. This is with. It's very skin-like. It feels weightless. It is so lightweight, you guys. I've really been enjoying this foundation. It gives a pretty, I would say like a natural matte finish. I wouldn't call it like a heavy or dry matte finish, but there's definitely no glow or radiance or dewiness to it. But it's very nice. I would say it's slightly more mattifying than skin-like. It's like a skin-like matte look. I've worn this, I would say, maybe 8 to 10 times over the last couple weeks. And the first time I applied it, I did it incorrectly and I didn't shake it, and I applied it all over the face. And I didn't love the way that my skin looked that day. I wasn't sure if it was the foundation or the combination of the moisturizer I used with it. I just didn't love it. And then once I shook it and I used it and applied it the right way, which is applying section by section, or little, that was when I was like, oh my gosh, I love this product. So it stays like forever. I think it claims a 48-hour wear, which is so funny to me when products have these outrageous claims like that. It's because, like, I think we need to be washing our face before 48 hours. There will never be a time where I need my makeup to last 48 hours. I'm sorry, there just won't be. But, if you do need longevity, it's there for you. But when I see something like that, to me, that says it's going to wear really well in the heat of Texas. It's going to be really great for oily skin types, and it's just going to stay. And I have found this foundation to do all of that. It's great. So I still haven't done the under eyes because I really want you guys to see how this applies as a concealer. I think that's what I was most impressed with this product, is that it claims to be a foundation and concealer, and I can honestly say that it looks incredible both on the face and underneath the eyes. And that is something I was not expecting, to be totally honest. I mean, the skin just looks so smooth and poreless. Oh, so good. And it's so lightweight. You can't really see where the foundation starts or stops. It doesn't settle in fine lines or smile lines. It's just really beautiful. This one is a good one. Like, this is one that I'm definitely going to repurchase, and one that I can see myself using a lot. Okay, so let's go in and do underneath the eyes with this. I'm just going to do a little bit here, a little bit here. And you know what, I'm going to do both under eyes, but we're just going to work kind of quickly. I do find myself having to dip back in. Something about the applicator, it doesn't pick up a ton of product, so I do have to find myself going back in. We're going to use the A506. This is part of the Holy Grail trio, which is also part of the sale. If you want to pick this up, this is like our special edition, kind of like a collector's brush set. It's a little bit of a premium price point. So if this has been one you've had your eye on, you can get it for 20% off right now. And for under the eye, I'm just going to tap so I can build that coverage up. Perfect. Oh, look at that. I mean, look at the coverage for a concealer. Isn't that crazy? This foundation concealer blows me away, honestly, because of how much coverage you get, with it also being as lightweight as it is. Perfect. Oh my God, it looks so good. So good. I mean, the skin just looks so good. I cannot get over this product. Highly recommend this, especially if you have oily skin, especially if you live in a hot climate, you're outside a lot. If you are someone that finds your makeup fades or gets greasy or sweats off the skin, I think you will love this one. The only person I think that might not love this is someone that likes a dewy or glowy radiant finish, or someone that's got really dry to the point where the skin is flaky. I don't have that skin, so I'm not sure, and I haven't tried this on skin like that, but I think that might be, you might not get the same results of like a smooth, just like, I don't know. I love this. I think it's worth trying. Even if you have dry skin, I think it's worth trying, but I love this. It's so good. Okay, let's go ahead and move on, you guys. I am going to go ahead and set everything. I did do that the day that I did this look for it, and it just looked amazing. I'm going to go in with the BK Beauty 108, and I am going in with this is actually the Givenchy Prisma Libre, but it's the old formula. If I had my Huda Beauty here, I would be using that one because that is one that you guys can purchase today, and I love it. It has really been the replacement for me for this one, and I'm just going to set the center of the forehead, set around the nose, powder underneath the eyes, and then just kind of powder the center of the face. I don't feel like this foundation needs a whole lot of powder, but I am gonna do a little bit. Let's go ahead and do the brows. For brows, I'm gonna go in with my Benefit Precise Brow Pencil. We're gonna create the shape, and then we're gonna use the Kosas Air Brow in the shade Honey Blonde to give some volume and to just finish the brow. So let me go ahead and do these real quick, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to warming the face up with some bronzer. Now, I have been loving this powder bronzer from Christian Dior. This is the Dior Forever Nude Bronze, and I'm the shade 10 Soft Matte, but a really great dupe if you want something more affordable or if you already have this at home is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. The formula and the texture I feel to be very, very similar. The shade is going to be slightly a little cooler tone. This is definitely a little warmer. They even have that smell, that like beachy smell. I don't know. It's so fragrant. I don't mind it. I don't mind fragrance, but I know there are a lot of people that get irritated with fragrances in their skincare and their makeup, but just heads up, this has a heavy scent to it. But I've been loving this product. I've been using this a ton this summer. So I'm going to load this brush up with this product. You can see how well this brush picks up this product. The 107 is one of my like favorite and most used powder brushes. It's just a really great size and shape. So it's not too big, it's also not too small. So it's not too big, so it works for all faces, smaller faces, but it's not too small, so it's not gonna like, you have the ability to like sheer and blend out and create a real light diffused application. When brushes are too like tighter and smaller, they're gonna have more impact, less blendability. This is a really good balance, just a good size where it picks up a lot, but it also blends out. And I just press the brush onto the cheekbone. I start out here by the hairline, and then I'm going to sweep it right here in the hairline. I'm going to warm up the face. I love this color. It's so smooth and so easy to blend. It's just absolutely beautiful. This bronzer, I'll never forget, Nikki like texted me and she's like, you need to get this. You are going to love this. And I think I went that day and I bought it. Whenever I get a text from Nikki directly telling me I need something, I'm like, say no more. I am in the car and I'm on the way to Sephora. I love it. So when I'm doing the hairline, I just take the side of the brush and just sweep it right along the hairline and kind of blend it and work it into the hairline. It's really difficult to like mess this bronzer up or overdo it. It really is. And then I'm just even gonna go on the side of the nose to really just warm up the face. We are good, so good. Okay, now we're gonna add some color to the cheeks. And you guys, I have been kind of slightly obsessed with this blush since I picked it up. This is the new Charlotte Tilbury Unreal Blush Healthy Glow Stick. I got the shade Peachy Glow. I was very tempted to go and buy a couple other shades, the more pinky shades, but I refrained because I have so many blush sticks in pinks and I just don't need it. You know what I mean? I knew I loved this formula, but I was like, I don't need to just go buy another blush stick that is the same color as something that I already own. I don't have a ton of like straight up peachy blushes though. A lot of mine are peachy pinks or more pink. Not pretty. Really good pigment payoff, very creamy, very easy to blend. I grabbed this one too. This is the new Dior blush sticks. This one's really great too. And this is the shade Rosewood. This is more of a pink shade. Honestly, these formulas are very similar. They remind me so much of the other. Like they're both very pigmented. They're both very creamy. They're very, very similar. I can't tell you which one's better. I like them both. I think they're both fantastic. But I'm going to go in with the Charlotte Tilbury one, and I'm going to take my 112 brush, and I am going to take it to the product. Now this brush is going to pick up quite a bit because this product is very creamy and it just transfers really well. So I'm just going to kind of go to my hand and kind of blot off any excess. And we're going to go right here. We're going to smile so I can get that little pop of the cheek. And we're going to start right at the apple of the cheek, but we're going to blend back and up a bit. I do want a little bit on the apple of my cheek, but I also want to lift, and I want to be careful that I don't place it too low on the face. Oh, look at how gorgeous that is. It is so beautiful. I love this. This has been one of those purchases that I've made that I'm like, oh, I love it. You know, I buy so much makeup. I'm always trying new things. And generally speaking, I would say most products are pretty good these days, you know? Sometimes I come across a product that's very disappointing, but not that often. Some products, I would say for the most part, 7 out of 10 products I try are good. I think 1 out of 10 products are like, oh my God, this is amazing. I love it. And then I would say 1 or 2 out of 10 products is like, nah, I don't like it. You know, I just think that that's just kind of the like place that we're at with makeup today and technology. Overall, products are pretty good. This would definitely fall into that category of Oh my gosh, I love this product. So if you haven't tried these and you've been curious, I can confidently tell you that you will very much likely love this product. For longevity purposes, I am gonna set this with a little bit of powder. I'm gonna go in here with this one. This is from Patrick Ta, and this is the Cream Powder Duo. This is the shade She's Blushing. I'm just gonna take a little bit of that, and I'm gonna blot it excess on the paper towel, and I'm just gonna softly, very lightly tap that on top of the blush. Now we are looking pretty blush heavy right now, but keep in mind I don't have any eye makeup on at all. So we're gonna go and do the eye makeup. If I come back and I still feel like all I see is blush, which is kind of like what I'm seeing right now, then we can tone it down with our foundation brush and minimize it. But for now, I'm leaving it as it is. When I tone down the blush at this stage, I always go back and add more after the eye makeup is on. So let's get into the eye makeup. So I used the other day and loved, I don't even know if they still make these, I think this is kind of old, the Sigma eyeshadow base primer in the shade Ignite. This is a very vanilla kind of eggshell color. It's really opaque. So I'm gonna do one eye at a time because this does dry pretty quickly and I don't want this to dry down. I'm gonna take my concealer brush, my A506, and I'm just going to blend this out. And I wanna make sure that I get it from the lashes all the way up to underneath the eyebrow. You see that? You see the brightness that that added? I wanna make sure I don't apply too much of this, okay? Because it is a thicker consistency and I don't need a ton. I just wanna have a nice little even layer on the lid. Then of course go in and blend. You can use your finger to blend this out too. Just make sure that you really shear out that layer and you don't have any like thicker spots, because if you have thicker spots, the shadow will stick to those and you'll have a difficult time blending. So be sure of that. Okay, so next we're gonna go in and do eyeshadow. And I just rediscovered this little palette. I sure hope that they still make this palette. This is the Kevyn Aucoin, the Contour Eyeshadow Palette, and this is the light shade. I've had this for a couple years. It got tucked away in a drawer and I just pulled it out the other day. I used it and I love, 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 love this. I actually took it from the studio and I've been carrying it around in my little like travel makeup case, which, how cute is this, you guys? I have to share this with you. This is from the brand ETOILE. I actually met the founder of this brand at an event in New York a couple months ago. She has a US site and then she has an Australian site. It's an Australian company. I wanted the monogramming, so I had to order it from the Australian site because they don't offer the monogramming on the US site as of now. So this is the oval case. I'll link it down below. It's the oval case. And this is the ginger brown color, and then I added my initials, but again, I had to order on the Australian site, so I did pay more. I paid, you know, quite a bit more to have it shipped here, and I waited like 6 or 7 weeks, which is pretty standard for you know, getting from Australia. So just a little heads up. Okay, I'm gonna go in with the A502, and I'm going in with the lightest shade right here. Just kind of sweep this underneath the brow a little bit, just to softly highlight underneath the brow. And then I'm also going to take a little bit of that and kind of sweep it in the inner corner of the eye. Just a little bit all over the lid just to set everything softly. Same brush, then we're going to go in with this shade right here. I don't know what shade that is, but it's the matte medium brown shade. And we're going to kind of sweep this in our crease back and forth, real softly. I'm not putting a whole lot of pressure. These eyeshadows are very, very pigmented. That's what I love about them. They're very pigmented. So you don't have to put a lot of pressure and you're going to get a good payoff. Just create a little crease there, and then I'm going to take the same color and we're just going to kind of connect it down to the lashes. My text messages today have been blowing up. It's been causing me a little bit of anxiety. I don't know. I get so many text messages. I'm in so many like mom threads and just like, oh my gosh. You know, when you're on a text thread with like 15 people, just the notifications are like nonstop. And it's like, oh my God. I can't do it. I just have to let go of that. What is it? That it's not even a desire. It's like this, it's this feeling of obligation to reply to people right away. I've always been like that. I always felt like I had to reply right away, but I can't do it anymore. It's just too much. I've got my phone on silent, but I can see it blowing up over here. Okay, just go in the outer corner. Okay, now this side looks to be a little bit heavier than this side, so we're gonna go back and even things out. I love this brush size. It's like the perfect size because it's fluffy, so it blends really well, but it's nice and small. So you have a lot of control. And that's great, especially for this particular technique, because I'm just trying to concentrate that color in this little part of the eye. I don't want it all over the eye, I just want it in a little part of the eye. Next, we're gonna go and apply this really beautiful shimmery bronze. Look how pretty this is. This color is so beautiful. Look how pretty that is. Isn't that pretty? So pretty. Since I have it on my finger, I'm gonna just go ahead and apply it with my finger. I don't love applying shadow with my finger because I can never get it perfect like I like it. So I did that one eye just because I had it, but I'm gonna go back and find my 203, this little guy right here. And we're going to bring that over to the inner corner a bit and just kind of softly blend those two colors together. These colors are similar, right? One's matte, one's got a little bit of shimmer, but they're similar in tone, so it's not like one's a lot darker than the other. I am going to do the 203 on the other side, and we're gonna just pack it on. These shadows are so nice, just really great quality. I mean, do you see, like, it has the same level of intensity that it did when I applied it with my finger as with a brush. Typically, shadows have more intensity when you use your finger, but this one is so buttery and just like, it really loads up on this brush well and it lays down. It's like you don't even use your finger, you can use a brush. This is the 203, by the way. This is one of those brushes that everyone should have, you guys. Every eye shape can use it, and it's just a really great basic shader brush. Picks up and lays down shadow, as you can see, really well. Okay. Just taking that crease brush and just going back. I didn't add anything to it. Taking my 108 and just sweeping under the eyes to remove any fallout. But yes, oh, look at the makeup. It's looking so beautiful. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, let's go in and add a little bit of liner. Now, this is the LA Girl Shockwave Metallic Eyeliner, and this is the shade Brown Sugar. I'll show you how pretty this is. It's just I mean, it's pretty, but it is just kind of like a basic brown with a little bit of metallic shimmer. So it's gonna complement that eyeshadow nicely. And it's also gonna blend with the shadow nicely. It's not gonna be too much of a contrast, but it is gonna define the lashes a little bit. Softer than black, or even softer than like a dark coffee brown. And I'm just gonna line the lash line, both sides. What's good too when you use a liner that is similar in color and tone to the shadow you used, it's okay if you make a mistake, it's not as obvious. You know, if I had really light eyeshadow on the eye and I was using this liner, any mistake I made would look very obvious. It would just jump out at you. This does not. Then I'm gonna go in with the 210, and we're gonna take this dark, matte, kind of cool tone brown shade with the 210, and we're just gonna kind of run this on top of that liner. It's going to softly just soften the liner. It's also going to set the liner, and it's going to just smoke it out the slightest bit. And then at this point, you can go and kind of compare the two eyes and make sure the liner looks to be even. I think it does. I do have a little fallout here. We're going to dust away. Look at that blush. It's so pretty. Do you see how the blush is now working now that we have more eye makeup on? So then I'm going to take that 210. I'm going to wipe off that darker shadow, and we're going to go in with the bronzy shadow that we used on the lid, and we're just going to run this on underneath our lower lashes. This is going to give some definition to the lower lashes, but it's also going to keep it, you see that, just real soft still, real pretty. Anytime you use a liner that has a little like metallic finish or shimmer to it, it's much softer than using a matte liner. And then I'm going to take the 203 brush just to run it and soften it even more. Perfect. Okay. Now we've got the sultry smoky thing going. And quite honestly, I love it both with liner and without. The other day I wore this look and I didn't wear lower liner. I just kept it very clean and put a little mascara. And I thought the look looked so beautiful. Slightly a little fresher, but still really just put together. Okay, next we're gonna go in and do mascara, and the mascara that I have, the Bobbi Brown Smoky Eye Mascara. When it comes to mascara, there are many great mascaras out there, but I just don't think it gets better than this one. It's my opinion. My opinion may change. Something new comes out and I love it, but as of now, this is my holy grail mascara. I need a new tube. I think this tube is drying out a little bit. It also lasts forever. Do you notice how some mascara formulas you can use for like 6 weeks and you already feel like it's starting to dry out? And then this formula, I honestly have them for like probably way longer than I should, but they still work so well. Like by the time this one's drying out and I can tell like, okay, it's drying out, it's getting clumpy. I bet I've had it for like 8 or 9 months probably. I'm not kidding you. Way longer than I should, but that's just how good it is. It's such a great formula. It gives fullness and length to the lashes. It also fans out the lashes really nice. And I think it's like one of the more wispier look to your lash mascaras that I've found. What does wispy mean? Well, you know when you find a mascara and it gives a lot of length, a lot of volume, but after the mascara dries, it looks like you could just crunch off your lashes, or it looks thick and just crunchy. That's the opposite of wispy. Wispy feels like if you were to touch it, it might actually feel like long lashes and real hair. That's to me what wispy looks like. And I think this mascara gives you that. It is good, my friends. It is good. I did not see this. I don't think Nordstrom Anniversary had a Bobbi Brown Duo Mascara deal. They should have. I would have recommended that until it sold out. But you know what the Nordstrom Anniversary sale does have? Hopefully they still have it when this video goes live. Was the Bobbi Brown Face Base Duo. That's part of the anniversary sale. So you can get 2 face bases, which is what I started with. You get 2 of these for a really great deal. So if that is still in stock when this video goes live, I'm gonna tag it down below. If that is still in stock, buy that, you guys. You will not regret it. I promise. You will not regret it. Load it up. Yeah, I need to replace it because it's actually starting to look slightly clumpy, which means it's time for a new one. But I'm gonna put a little bit on my lower lashes, not a lot, a little bit. And then we're done. We are done with eyes. Oh, if you ever feel like your liner's a little too thick, which I kind of think it is a little too thick, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna take just a clean concealer brush. And I'm just gonna go right underneath that and kind of soften that liner. Let's go ahead and move on to lips. I'm gonna dry my lips off because I have a little bit of lip balm. And I'm gonna do my little trick. I say it's my trick, it's not my trick. I learned this trick from Nikki LaRose. I've heard from many of you that you guys have been doing this trick for years too. I'm sure it's just like a well-known makeup artist trick, but Nikki taught me this, so I'm giving her credit. Powdering the lips. I've got my N14. Any little brush will do. I'm gonna load it up. And then we're gonna powder these lips. Literally just powder all over them. I like this powder a lot because it's very sheer. Even though I'm packing this on the lips, my lips don't feel uncomfortable or too dry at all. Perfect, okay. Now we're gonna go and line the lips. So what does powdering the lips do? It basically makes your lip products last all day long, okay? So I'm gonna go in with the Say Beauty liner in the shade Wink, and we're going to line the lips. I do like to slightly overline the upper lip, and I really wanna line that and kind of fill in, not the entire lip, but I really wanna thicken that line. Do several layers of lip liner. I'm gonna take back my N14 and I'm gonna add a little more powder on top of that liner. I think I heard that Makeup by Mario does this. He lines and then he powders. Now let's go in with our lipstick. And the lipstick that I have today is, okay, I love this color. I don't know how you feel about this brand, but I do love this color. And then we're gonna use one of the new Rare Beauty lip glosses. So Kylie Cosmetics lipsticks, and this is the shade 333 Not Sorry. It's a cream, like nudie pink. Very beautiful, really, really nice. Very opaque, perfect. Look at that, it's just such a good color. And then I'm gonna take this color from the Rare Beauty. It's just the lip gloss and the shade is called Beam. These are very nice. They sent me the whole collection. Very lightweight, very glossy. They feel incredible. They also have this like flexible little applicator, which I love. I love a nice flexible lip applicator. And I'm gonna apply this right in the center. So nice. They're very, very sheer and weightless. Like they don't feel like a sticky gloss at all. Tons of shine. Look at that. This lip combo right here is like, ooh, I love it. If you like a really pretty, glossy, kind of peachy, milky nude, this combo is so good. So again, I'm going to tell you what I have on my lips, and of course everything will be tagged and listed down below. The Say Beauty lip liner in the shade Wink, the Kylie Cosmetics lipstick in the shade Not Sorry, and the Rare Beauty lip gloss in the shade Beam. So good. Look at that. Oh, so pretty. Okay, so this is the finished look. You could certainly use a setting spray if you want to really lock it in, even for more longevity. I definitely would do that if I had one nearby that I could use, but I'm not seeing one here that I have that would really add longevity. I do have my Jane Iredale Pumice, which is going to give me that really beautiful kind of natural skin look. If you're wearing a lot of powder, this one is great. I'm just gonna spray it because I like it. But if you're looking for one that's gonna really lock your makeup in, I highly recommend either the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Airbrush setting spray. There is a Nordstrom deal for the anniversary sale. If it's still available, I'll link it. Or the One Size On Till Dawn, just the original setting spray. That one locks everything in, it doesn't move. But this is the finished look. So I really love the way that this looks. I feel like this is pretty full glam. I mean, there are definitely things you could do to take it up a notch, maybe doing a black wing liner, adding some lashes. But overall, I feel like this is a pretty glam look. It will last all day. I could step outside in the 100-degree Texas heat and my makeup will still look flawless, especially the foundation. So everything will be linked, listed, tagged in YouTube shopping. Let me know any questions you have down in the description box below. Thanks for hanging out with me. This was fun just chatting with you guys and catching up. I hope you have a beautiful day and I will see you in my next video. Bye.